Mexico is a popular place for North Americans and increasingly Europeans to retire. Its low cost of living, good food, and very warm people, along with a vibrant culture scene, have made it a very attractive country in which to live. Add to that generally nice weather, and you're looking at a country which, for many people, is a perfect place to retire. So here are 10 fantastic places to retire in Mexico. And coming in at number 10, and very much underrated, is Guanajuato. Now, as said, Guanajuato is one of the most underrated cities in Mexico. It is a city rich in history with cobble streets and wonderful, colorful colonial architecture. The city is located in central Mexico and has a temperate climate. Many actually believe it's the prettiest city in Mexico. And the city center, historic center, and adjacent mines were declared a World Heritage Site in 1988. At just over 200,000 in population, if you like a medium-sized city in Mexico, this could be the one for you. Now, for a single person, you could live for about 1,300 US dollars per month. For a couple, you would need 1,600 US dollars per month plus to live fairly comfortably. Now, coming in at number 9, and also very, very underrated, is actually Manzanillo. Now, with a population of nearly 200,000, Manzanillo has some amazing beaches. The city is on the Pacific Ocean and has warm winters and a hot, humid summer. The great news, though, is that you can rent a one bed near the beach for around 500 US dollars per month. And there is actually an airport that flies you to LA, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, and Calgary. Add to this, medical care here is also very good, and there are some excellent hospitals in the city. And coming in at number 8, and I think this will surprise you, and it is a very large city, and it is the city of Guadalajara. Now, located in western Mexico with a population of around 1.4 million, Guadalajara could be a great alternative to Mexico City for those that want to retire in a big city with all the facilities but not pay really big city prices. Guadalajara is incredibly affordable. You can actually rent a lovely one-bedroom apartment for around $500 a month. You can even find 2 beds for well under 700 US dollars per month. And also from Guadalajara Airport, you can fly to many destinations all over the US. You can also fly to Panama City in Central America, Bogota in South America, and in Europe there is also a flight to Madrid. So this could be, if you're living in Western Europe, a good place to retire in Mexico. Now, coming in at number 7, and another I think very, very underrated place, is Mazatlan. Now, Mazatlan is a resort city with a population of around 500,000 along the Pacific coast. It has a beautiful colonial old town along with some very, very nice beaches. Now, the good thing here is that it is very cheap to rent an apartment. You can rent a one-bedroom centrally for under 400 US dollars per month. And the medical facilities are excellent as well. Mazatlan actually has an airport which flies direct to a number of cities in both the US and Canada, including San Francisco, LA, and Vancouver. So if you are a couple and you come here to rent, I think you can rent and have other living expenses for less than $1,500 US per month. And for a single person, I think you can actually live here economically for 1,200 US dollars per month. So a good place in which to retire. Now, coming in at number 6, and I'm sure a lot of you will know this place, it's Puerto Vallarta. Now, with a population of nearly 300,000, Puerto Vallarta is a lovely, lovely beach resort on the Pacific Ocean. The city was once named the friendliest city in the world, and today it's still considered a very, very friendly place in which to live and retire. The city is very popular with expats and has the advantage of many private hospitals and an airport which flies to many cities in both the USA and Canada. Now, as a single person, you should budget though for at least 1,500 US dollars per month, including rent. And if you are a couple, it is going to be nearer 2,000 US dollars per month because it is on the more popular side. That said, if you rent outside the zona romantica, there are some really good deals to be found here. So please do consider that if you come here to retire and want to live on a fairly strict budget. Now, coming in at number 5 is the city of Queretaro. Located in central Mexico and with a population of over 1 million in the greater metropolitan area, Querétaro is considered to be one of the safest cities in Mexico. It also has a very well preserved historic center, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, for most of the year, the weather is temperate and you can enjoy the many bars, restaurants and good medical facilities that the city offers. Now, if you want to rent anywhere near the historic center, it will cost you at least 500 US dollars per month for a one bed. And as a single person, you must budget for at least 1,500 US dollars per month, particularly if you want to rent fairly central, because it is quite a popular city, Querétaro, and indeed I think Querétaro is an absolutely wonderful city in which to retire. Now, coming in at number 4, and I'm sure this will be of no surprise to most of you, and it is Tulum. Now, the population of Tulum has more than quadrupled in the last 15 years. It is actually the fastest growing city in Mexico in percentage terms. It has great ruins, magnificent beaches, and lots of new stores, clubs, bars and restaurants have opened and continue to open. Now, Tulum is quite an upscale place, so you will need to budget more for a good retirement. You should actually budget, in actual fact, 2,000 US dollars a month to cover rent and other costs if you are a single person. Make that 3,000 US dollars if you are a couple. So it's on the more expensive side. Now, the nearest airport to Tulum is actually Cancun International Airport, and Cancun International Airport is about 1.5 hours drive away. So Tulum is a little bit more on the expensive side, but nevertheless a wonderful place. And coming in at number 3 is the city of Cancun. Now, located on the northeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and with a population of around 900,000, Cancun is a favorite destination for both North Americans and Europeans. Cancun has all the facilities you will ever need. And Cancun International Airport is actually the second busiest in Mexico and flies to numerous destinations in North, South America and in Europe too. So if you are from Western Europe, this could be the ideal place to retire. Now, to enjoy the beaches, amazing ruins and Cancun nightlife can be expensive, but downtown Cancun is much more affordable than the beachfront, so you could actually rent as a single person and with all other expenses, you can actually live for less than 2,000 US dollars a month. So it's better to actually rent in the center than it is on the beachfront, and there's a lot of life in the center. Now, coming in at number 2 is another very popular place, and it is Merida. Now, the beautiful city of Merida has a rich Mayan and colonial heritage, and with a population of over 900,000, Merida is the capital and the largest city on the Yucatan Peninsula. It regularly ranks as one of the safest places to live in Mexico, and it's still actually very affordable, although living in the center can be quite expensive. You can rent a 2-bedroom property outside the city center for around 500 US dollars a month if you do look carefully. And Merida has a very good hospitals and an airport that will fly you to a few international cities like Toronto, Dallas, Houston and Miami. But you can actually fly from Cancun airport, which is only 2 hours away if you need to go to other destinations. And coming in at number 1, unsurprisingly, is San Miguel de Allende. Now, San Miguel de Allende has been attracting expats for many years, and with good reason. It's a wonderful city known for its thriving art scene and glorious Baroque Spanish architecture. There are also each year tons of festivals, as well as fantastic eateries and a lovely surrounding area in which you can hike. The nearest airports are Guanajuato and Queretaro international airports, both within about 90 minutes drive. And in 2008, San Miguel de Allende was designated as a World Heritage Site. Now, despite its popularity, if you rent outside the historic center as a single person, you can live for around 1,500 US dollars per month, but you've got to really rent outside the historic center. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.